Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shin Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? This here is Saturday, January 19th, 2019, making this vlog number 2521. All right, that being said, we ain't got no birthday shout outs. We ain't got no happy friendiversary shout outs. So we'll just jump right on into the weather. You know what? We're going to have cloudy and windy this evening, becoming partly cloudy after midnight. Lows near 11 degrees Fahrenheit, winds north to northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Now, Sunday night, we're going to have, well, Sunday, Sunday, January the 20th, we've got a mix of clouds and sun in the morning, followed by cloudy skies during the afternoon. Highs now near 23 degrees Fahrenheit and winds north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, Sunday night, January 20th, we got partly cloudy during the evening, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Cold boy. Lows near 13 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, Monday, January 21st, we got cloudy skies. Highs near 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. If you're wearing a wig, you better hold on tight. If it's a rug, you better glue her down. Monday night, January 21st, overcast with lows near 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Supposed to have been getting a lot of snow today, but I ain't seen one iota of it. But that's alright. We're going to pick up some possibly on Tuesday. Tuesday, January 22nd, cloudy skies with periods of light rain later in the day. Highs near 46, winds south to southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of rain 90%. Tuesday night, occasional rain, some snow showers mixed in late at night. Lows near 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of precipitation 90%. Chances of snow 90%. Ooh la la, you know we're going to get it. Wednesday, January 23rd, cloudy early with partial sunshine expected late. Highs near 31 degrees Fahrenheit, winds north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then later on, we're going to have a few clouds overnight, lows near 22 degrees, and winds west and northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's right, boy, 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 boy. How about Tuesday, January 24th? A mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy later in the day. Highs near 40 or 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds west and northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. A few clouds low around 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds north to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. All right, all right, all right. How about Friday, January 25th? That's right, sunshine, along with some cloudy intervals. Highs near 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then cloudy during the evening. A few snow showers developing late on. And lows near 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds north to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of snow is about 30% snowfall, around 1 inch. And that ought to do it for the weather. We're going to cut on out for the weather and we're going to do some sing-song and stuff. Talking songs. Again, I like the talking songs. I got to get a lot of comments on talking songs. All right, here we go. This here is called the truck driver's prayer. Dear God above, bless this truck I drive, and help me keep someone alive. Be my mortal sight this day, and on the streets where little children play. Bless my helper fast asleep, when the night is long and deep, and keep my cargo safe and sound through the hours are big and round. Make my judgment sound as steel, and be my hands upon the wheel. Bless the traveler going past, and teach them not to go too fast. Give me strength for every trip, so I may care for what they slip, for what they ship, and make mindful every mile that life is just a little while. Amen. That's right. How about the Kool-Aid Kid? Well, I was sitting in this beer joint down in, not the Kool-Aid Kid. How about Colorado Kool-Aid? Well, I was sitting in this beer joint down in Houston, Texas, and was drinking Colorado Kool-Aid and talking to some Mexicans. And we was just, what's that you say? What's Colorado Kool-Aid? Oh, well, it's a can of Coors beer from a mountain stream. Oh, it'll set your head on fire and make your kidney scream. Oh, it sure is fine. Yeah, well, we was sitting and having ourselves one of them real good times. But, every beer joint that you ever been in, some big mean drunk who just ain't got no friends, sure enough, he wants to fight. Yep, he's gonna whip everything in sight. Well, he took him a big cold swaller of beer, and he walked over and he spit it in my Mexican friend's ear. And sure enough, that made my buddy really mad. That's something like he ain't never had. Well, sir, he pulled out a big long switchblade knife, and quick as a whistle he began to slice. That big mean drunk stood back, and his face full of tears, looking down at the floor, and one of his ears. He cut that thing off even with a sideburn. Yep, you might say that little Mexican fella, he just didn't give a darn, but he was a gentleman about it, and bent over and with a halfway grin picked it up and handed it back to him. He said, "Now, big man, you get the urge to spit a little beer in somebody's ear. Well, you just open your hand and spit it in your own ear." Well, I think that's what I heard him say. And I said, "Barmaid, set us up around a Colorado Kool-Aid. And while you're up there, bring this big fella here a box of Band-Aids." Now, let me tell you, if you're ever riding down in south of Texas and decide to stop in and drink some Colorado Kool-Aid and maybe talk to some Mexicans, and you get the urge to get a little tough, better make darn sure you're wearing your knife-proof earmuffs. Hey, ain't that right, big man? I said, ain't that right, big man? Oh, heck, he can't hear. Well, not on this side anyway. He ain't got no ear. Hey, barmaid, bring us a big, tall glass of that Colorado Kool-Aid. How about it? How you doing there, big man? Still got your ear in your hand? Yep, okay. All right. Daddy's girl. I recall the night that you came into this world. I could believe the doctor's ears. I couldn't believe the doctor when he said that you was a girl. Well, I said, "Now, Doc, you must be wrong. You see, I wanted a boy, and then he laid you in my arms, and my heart sang up with joy. Daddy's girl, I'm the center of Daddy's world. I know I'm Daddy's number one, for he loves me like I was his son. Daddy's girl. I recall the day I took you to a baseball game, and you brought along your baby doll and half its baby things. We sat there playing house while the Dodgers played the Braves, and in the bleachers, everyone in the bleachers looked at us as if to say, Daddy's girl. I'm the center of Daddy's world. I know I'm Daddy's number one, for he loves me like I was his son. Daddy's girl. I recall the day I took you on a fishing trip. You said, Daddy, won't that hook hurt that fish's lip? And you said, if they don't get air, these things in the can will die. So we turned the worms all loose and chased some butterflies. Daddy's girl. I'm the center of Daddy's world. I know I'm Daddy's number one, for he loves me like I was his son. Daddy's girl. I recall the day your young man come to call. Seems like only yesterday when you swam and played football. But I know the time has come that I must set you free. But no matter where you are, you know what you are to me. Daddy's girl, Daddy's girl. I'm the center of Daddy's world. I know I'm Daddy's number one, for he loves me like I was his son. Daddy's girl, Daddy's girl, Daddy's girl. I'm in the center. All right. Let's see what else. I drive a big Freightliner, and I made my last payment today, and I drove to points out in New York and all the way up to L.A. Well, the little woman smiles when I pick up the lever. I'll soon be back, but I just got the fever. She's a believer, and I got that Freightliner fever. There's a railroad a-running by a highway out in Santa Fe, and I'd pass an old freight train making his run the other day. Merle Haggard said it to his fireman, so pale, he's blowing that freight train off the rail. He's got the fever, he's got the Freightliner fever. Will Price said to, Price said to Reed, what you carrying in that cigarette pack? I said, oh, I got me my second driver, and he's going to drive her all the way back. It's the big black pill, so round and round. The drivers call it West Coast turnaround. It's for the fever, the old Freightliner fever. Instru- well, I passed Dave Dudley up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I passed Del Reeves in Shreveport, Louisiana. Dick Curtis got hung up on a hill in Maine, and I pulled him over with my 40-foot chain. He got the fever, the Freightliner fever. I mean, I pass everything from Jimmy to Greyhounds, buses. I know speed a few. I'm going to spend a few days on the West Coast at the end of my run, and old giddy up and go, and a little bit of luck, and going to pass Red Simpson and his runaway truck. He got the fever, he got the Freightliner fever. Well, Price said to Reed, what you carrying in that cigarette pack? I said, I got my second driver, and he's going to drive her all the way back. It's a big black pill, so long and so round. To a driver, it's the Coast turnaround. It's for the favor, that old freight line fever. Yeah, out on this road you pass a lot of them old country boys. I seen Carl Smith and Shirley Pride, and Ernest Tubbs, Bill Monroe, Conway, Twitty, Waylon Jennings. See Dave Dudley and George Jones, Porter Wagner, Bill Anderson, Roy Acuff, Stonewall Jackson, Roy Acuff. All right, there was Freightline Fever. I guess that's Freightline Fever. Let's do one that we all know. Bu- Yep, we're gonna do the Phantom 409 or 509, and then we'll take off. Song lyrics: Phantom 509. Song lyrics: Phantom 309. Here we go. Guess if we're gonna do it right, we ought to do it right. I was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and the things didn't work out, and I was down on my luck. I got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I started thumbing back east towards my hometown. Made a lot of miles the first 2 days, and I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way. But that third night I got stranded away out of town at a cold and lonely crossroads. Rain was pouring down. I was hungry and freezing, done caught a chill, when the lights of a big semi topped the hill. Lord, I sure was glad to hear them air brakes come on, and I climbed in the cab where I knew it'd be warm. At the wheel sat a big man, he weighed about 210, and he stuck out his hand and said with a grin, "Big Joe's the name," and I told him mine, and he said the name of my rig is the Phantom 309. I asked him why he called the rig such a name, and he said, "Son, this old Mac can pull 'em all to shame. There ain't a driver out or a rig running the line that ain't seen nothing but tail lights of the Phantom 309. Well, we rode and we talked the better part of the night, and when the lights of the truck stop came into sight, he said, "I'm sorry, son, this is as far as you go, 'cause I've got to make a turn just up the road." Well, he tossed me a dime as he pulled her on into low, and he said, "Have yourself a cup on Big Joe." Well, when Joe and his rig roared out into the night, in nothing flat, he was clean out of sight. Well, I went inside and ordered me up a cup and told the waiter Big Joe was setting me up, and you could have heard a pin drop, and it got deathly quiet, and the waiter's face turned kind of white. "Well, did I say something wrong?" I says with a halfway grin. He said, "No, this happens every now and then. Every driver in here knows Big Joe. But, son, let me tell you what happened about 10 years ago. At the crossroads back there tonight, where you flagged him down, there was a busload of kids coming from town. They were right in the middle when Big Joe topped the hill, and it could have been slaughter, but he turned the wheel. Well, Joe lost control and went into a skid. Now, he gave his life to save that bunch of kids. And that there at the crossroads was the end of the line for Big Joe and Phantom 309. But every now and then some hiker will come by and like you, Big Joe give him a ride. Here, have another cup and forget the dime. Keep it as a souvenir from Big Joe and the Phantom 309. There you go. Let's see, how close are we? Yep, looks like it's about time for our portion of the program called Our Daily Bread. Alright, alrighty. Okay, today, the beauty of love. That's the beauty of love. Anyway, the beauty of love is the name of the devotion. And I'm going to be reading for you Proverbs 5. Now, if you're keeping up with your book of Bible in the year, just follow me on YouTube. And it's called The Bible with Briscoe. I am narrating the whole Bible, complete Bible within a year. And today we're doing Genesis 46 through 48 and Matthew 13, 1 through 30. Alrighty, so just jump on board with the Bible with Briscoe and do that. Or if you want to do it on your own, you can just go and you can do the Genesis 46 through 48 and Matthew 13, 1 through 30. So here we go with Proverbs 5, warning against adultery. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Turn your ear to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion, and your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of the unadulterous woman drip honey, and her speech is smothered in oil. Of the adulteress, not unadulterous. The lips of the adulterous women drip honey, and their speech is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as a gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, and her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life. Her path wanders aimlessly, but she does not know it. Now then, my son, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to the path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you lose your honor to others, and your dignity to one who is cruel. Lest the stranger's feast on your wealth, and your toil enrich the house of another. And at the end, your life will groan. When your flesh and your body are spent, you will say, how I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction. I would not obey my teachers or turn my ear to my instructors, and I was soon in serious trouble in the assembly of God's people. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your spring overflow in the streets, your streams of water in the public squares, let them be yours alone. Never be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful deer. May her breasts satisfy you always, and may you ever be intoxicated with her love. Why, my son, be intoxicated with another man's wife? Why embrace the bosoms of a wayward woman? For your ways are in full view of the Lord, and he examines all your paths. The evil deeds of wicked ensnares them, and the cords of their sins hold them fast. For lack of discipline they will die, led astray by their own great folly. In other words, don't cheat on your wife, don't cheat on yourself. Don't go to no prostitutions or prostitutes. None of that there thing. Anyway, hey, that there's it. And that was Proverb 5. And I'm going to have one more song for you. And of course, that song will be, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Hey, this here's been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? And thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show. And as always, come back and see me again tomorrow because, well, I'll be here. And I hope that you are too.